All right, recording on this computer. All right, so I think that I know most of you. I do see some names that are very unfamiliar to me, so welcome. I am Kat Falcone. My real name is Katrina, but I go by Kat. Who am I? I've been a coach for almost 4 years now. December 13th is my join date, so it's right around the corner. It seems impossible that that's even the case, but here I am 4 years later. I'm a diamond coach on Team Project Fearless. I am one of Joan's personally sponsored diamonds, and I've been around for a long time. So I've seen this business, change and grow and become this amazing opportunity for so many people. And that's kind of what I want to talk about, is that it's so easy to get caught up in so many different things with this business, whether it be fear of other people and what they think of you, fear of not thinking that you're able to do it. A lot of things come into play. So I really want to dig into that because, again, 4 years later, I'm a diamond coach. I have never been a star diamond coach, and I'm not even going to go backwards here and explain why. I'm going to tell you that in this business, you must take action. You must take consistent action every single day. And I'm going to tell you how I have been doing that for this past month and the reason why I'm in Success Club. I'm now working my spouse's account to get him to diamond and just really building some momentum in this business right now. And I really want to share how I'm doing that because it's exciting and I'm really happy about it. And I'm so excited to see where this business ends this year for me and what next year looks like. So November, I just want to remind you that it is still the November to Remember month. I know that it seems like, holy cow, I can't believe it's November 27th already, and this month is ending. But I hope that you guys are taking advantage of the November to Remember Double Time Challenge Pack option because it's a 3-point challenge pack. That means you have to help 2 people to get into Success Club this month. So there are no excuses. And after this call, after what I'm sharing with you, I hope that you put all of these things into action and make Success Club by the end of the month if you're not already there. Okay, so I have some notes to kind of keep me on track because I am such a scatterbrain when it comes to this stuff. So I'm not going to spend any time talking about a crap mindset and a lack of action because quite simply, if you want to be successful in this business, you don't have time to stay in a crap mentality. You just don't. And obviously personal development is a part of our vital behaviors for a reason. It is meant to be there so that you put good things in your brain every single day, whether it be 15 minutes or if you need to spend an hour sometimes, like I do. The first step that has really made a difference for me is goal setting. I really needed to get real with myself with my goals. My goals were very surface for a very long time, and they were very much rank driven, I want to be a diamond, or it started with emerald. I want to be an emerald. I want to be a diamond. I want to help people, and those types of things are great, but you are going to get to a point in this business where those aren't going to push you any further than where you're already at. So you need to kind of connect with the feeling behind those goals. And I really got this put in my brain a lot when I was listening to Shanti's call. Because he said you need to connect with the feeling. You need to know and feel how great it's going to feel when you achieve those goals. If it's a rank goal, great. That's awesome. Are you going to feel so amazing when you achieve that goal? You're going to feel so accomplished. You're going to know that you worked so hard to get there. Those are things that you need to put into your brain if you're going to get there. Right now, I'm picturing myself debt-free. I'm picturing myself no longer getting those, student loan debt announcements in the mail every single month about how much I owe for a student loan. I am picturing paying for my entire wedding with Beachbody money. Like, how amazing is that going to be? I'm picturing the choice to leave a job that I really love. I'm a dental assistant and I work for a dental office that is so kick-ass. I have great coworkers. But at this point, I'm going to challenge myself and do exactly what Chris and Cody Reed say. And, even though you love that job, challenge yourself and give yourself the option to leave that job because you've replaced your income. I'm picturing that feeling of how great it's going to be, to go on maternity leave after I get married and start having kids and not have to go back to work if I don't want to. These are the feelings that I'm putting in front of me so that, I can, be in the best shape of my life when I'm 30 and, really strive for these goals and achieve them. So, my goals right now, I want to be an SC legend and all-star and all of that fun stuff, because at this point, consistency has not been a part of my business. And that is why I still sit at a Diamond Coach. So making a plan and sticking to it is going to be key. You need to stop falling victim to the schedule or your lack thereof schedule. You need to make the time. If this business is a priority for you, you will sit down and you will find the time. And that's one thing that has always been a part of my excuse reel. Oh, I just get home from work and I'm so tired, I still have to work out. And then I have no time for my, for my fiance and my, whoever's over. No, this business is a priority. You will find the time to work it. And let me tell you that you don't need hours and hours to do this. If you're intentional with your time and you make a schedule for your time, you will get things done. You just have to be intentional. To be successful in this business, again, you don't need to put hours of time into it. You can literally, I've sat down and reached out to people for an hour. And because I was intentional with that time, I was able to reach out to like 60 to 75 people. The minimum for reaching out to people is 5 to 10. If I do that every single day and I'm intentional with those, 60 to 75 follow-ups, donuts, whatever they are, and I'll go into detail about that stuff in a second, you will reach mass amounts of people and you will be moving forward with your business. It's basically how I've turned, that wasted business time into quality business time. So I've been looking at the big picture, and I've been trying to figure out, because when I started this business, I went diamond in like 3-4 months. I, got to a point where I was comfortable with leaving a crap job. I definitely was not ready to leave my full-time job to pursue Beachbody full-time. But because of my Beachbody income, I was able to walk away from an unhealthy work situation and, work my Beachbody business until I could find another job that was steady. So I was making Success Club 17 and, 10 and higher, beyond every single month. And I'm trying to figure out what had changed between, 2000, I don't even know what year it was, to now. And why did I go into this lull? I needed to look at the big picture. I needed to find a system that was working for me and what was working for me before. I recently realized that tracking is such a huge part of this business. And I will tell you that it was the one thing in this business that I was making such a hard situation. And I was like making it out to be this big deal and I just wasn't doing it. So, I'd have these days where I was reaching out to, again, 60 to 100 people and I'd mass amount, message them. And then I would never follow up unless they answered me back. And I will tell you that you will run into other coaches on this team, signing coaches that you've talked to before. It will happen because you want to know why? You didn't put in the work and follow up with that person and actually let them know that you were a Beachbody coach looking to help them with their health and fitness goals. Because you've reached out to them once, may have said, hey, what's up? How are you? And then some other person on this team who has been consistent and super motivated and tracked their conversations will reach out to them and they will sign them because this business is amazing and who wouldn't want to sign up like this? So tracking. The old school way of tracking, which is a great way to start. So if you're not wanting to invest money into a tracking system right off the bat, good old planner. That works so well. And I think there was a planner from Staples that we all kind of tended to gravitate to because it was really easy. And each individual day has a huge slot in it. And it's super duper simple. Reach out to a person, determine where that conversation is, if they've answered, if it's Beachbody related, follow up with them in 2 days, take their name out of Facebook Messenger and jot it 2 days later in your planner, and kind of do the time frame of when you're going to follow up with them according to what the conversation looks like. If you've just checked in with them because, it's Thanksgiving, for example, I use probably a week follow-up or so, just to follow up with somebody after I've asked how their Thanksgiving went. So you'll kind of get in the mind frame of how much time you need in between to track and to follow up with somebody. But the point of my, tangent on the planner is that it's so simple. Reach out to Meg, follow up with Meg in 2 days. Reach out to Katie, never talked about Beachbody. I'm going to follow up with her in a week, and I'm putting her name in the planner in a week later. So my best friend right now is Teamzy. And when I first signed up for Teamzy, I literally signed up for this program like 5 months ago, and I just started using it in the last 2 months because I was allowing Teamzy to run my life. And I don't know if any of you guys know what Teamzy is or if you've used it, and maybe you've tried using it and you're like, oh my God, hell no, this thing is way too hard. I'll show you how simple it is. And I'm going to share my screen. And the reason why I'm doing this is because when Joan sat next to me, and this happens often, I have some of these moments where I'm like, whoa, it's that easy. Teamzy, can you guys see my screen? My Teamzy account? Cool. So if you look at this Teamzy account, there's a lot to look at. There's a dashboard, there's all of these little things here, prospects, customers, coaches. Do not pay attention to any of it. Only pay attention to your follow-ups. And what I made the mistake of doing is I was working out of this prospects place, and this is absolutely every single person from Facebook that has been brought over to your Teamzy account. And what I was doing is I was working off this prospect list, and I was simply reaching out to everybody and their mother that showed up on my prospect list, rather than going from my Facebook Messenger and reaching out to people that I already had relationships with and already had conversations with, and I was basically letting Teamzy run me. I was also paying too much attention to this stuff up here. These circles, it tells you how many ads you've had, how many invites you've had, how many of your coaches have you talked to, customers, prospects, all of that stuff. I don't care. I don't care about any of that anymore, because that is how Teamzy will run you. What I'm doing is I'm working off of my Facebook Messenger. And, these are follow-ups. So I've obviously been using Teamzy for a little while. I am about a week behind because I've been reaching out to so many people. But with my follow-ups, what I'm simply doing is I'm looking at this follow-ups list. And when I come in here, I'm taking, Christina Atkinson, for example. I go to Facebook, I reach out to Christina Atkinson, look at our past history. And then rather than putting all of this detail in here, because again, it can take some time if you really use this the way that it is set up to be used. But if you just simply say, okay, set your default follow-up time. I've talked to her about Beachbody, so 2 days I'm going to follow up with her. And I'm simply putting in here that I talked to her on Facebook. I'm not wasting my time putting any of my conversation in here because I'm going to see my conversation. When this pops up, I'm going to log it in 2 days. Christina Atkinson's name is going to pop up in 2 days, and I'm already going to know what my conversation is because I'm just going to go to Facebook. Brilliant. So literally, that's as simple as it is. And I'm going as far as going through this list and saying, all right, Backel, Baldwin, Burchett. And I go to Facebook, I type in all 3 of those names, I reach out to them real quick, and then I come back to Teamzy, log. That's 3 of them right out of the way, right then and there. And obviously it will take a little bit more time than that when you're going through this type of stuff, because it just will. It's just one of those things. It will take a little bit more time, but it will keep you so much more organized. And I will tell you that this is the pivotal thing that I have been doing that has changed my business. Let's see here. I got serious about this business. I invested and I bought a laptop. What I realized is that when I first started this business, I had a crap laptop, but I was working it. I was killing it with this laptop. And for me, it works best because I thrive off fun. I thrive off being around people. So when I have to go sit in my office in the back of my house by myself, when I can hear my sister and my fiance out here chit-chatting and giggling, I don't want to go back there and work my business. I don't care. I get really upset and I don't want to go back there. So, when I'm out here on my phone, I'm also distracted and I can't, track my stuff appropriately. Those are my excuses. So in order to get past my excuse, I invested in a laptop. I'm sitting at my kitchen table right now. No one's here, luckily, but when they get home, they're going to be right here in the space with me, but I can still focus on my business. So get real with what are the things holding you back? I've seen so many people work this business from their phone. Kudos to them, because I get so distracted because I have shiny ball syndrome. But seriously, I got serious and I bought a laptop. as I mentioned before, I set business hours. I chatted with Carl ahead of time because a spouse in this business can either make or break the way that you look at your business and the way that you treat your business. When I first worked this business, I spent my time at Joan's house. And the reason because of that was that Carl hated Beachbody. He was like, okay, who are all these people that you're getting on a call with every Monday night? Why are you talking to so many people, on Facebook Messenger? Your phone's blowing up all the time. We're never around each other, whatever. So I got real with Carl and I set these business hours. We've made deals. I say, okay, during the week on a Wednesday, if, we need lunches prepped, he takes care of that while I work my business. Although I get up in the morning, I get my workout done, as long as I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing, he's cool with me working my business and maybe, not folding the laundry. I'm very blessed. But sit down with your spouse. I'm not saying make your spouse do everything, but get real and tell them, okay, my business hours are, from 5:30 to 7:30 or 5:30 to 6:30. Just set those business hours so he knows or she knows when you're going to be sitting down to do your business, so that you can try to figure out with, if you have kids, that he's going to put them down one night or, whatever that may be. Just set those business hours so it's not a big deal. Let's see here. Kind of touch base because I feel like sometimes, and I was one of these people, but I feel like sometimes people that don't have kids get looked at like, oh, you don't have kids. You don't understand what it's like to be busy, this and that. And I was thinking about this tonight when I was talking about these business hours and setting them, because, I'm sitting here at my table and yes, I'm alone. Carl is working a second job at LL Bean right now. But if you look around my house right now, it is spotless. The house is cleaned. I've reached out to half of my people already. Dishes are running in the dishwasher. Laundry is all folded and put away. And I still have time to prep our lunches and all that good stuff for tonight because I wanted to help him out because he's working the second job. So, we all have our own version of busy. So just know that you don't have to look at other people and say, oh, she doesn't get it because she doesn't have kids. I just have a different version of busy than you. Anyway, tangent. I digress. Knowing what relieves your stress for the situations. For me, like I just talked about, having a clean house is a huge deal to me. If I wake up and I make my bed and I walk into my living room and it's clean in this house, I'm like happy as a clam. So you need to identify those things that are stressors that may set you off in your home, because your home should be your bubble. Your home should be your safe place. It should be your safe haven, your relaxation place. And it should be your place where you can go home and work your business and be okay. Once you've set those guidelines with your spouse, or, once you've put your kid to bed and you have some time to yourself, it should be your place where you have no stressor to basically take away from it. So the cold hard truth, PD is obviously a vital behavior for a reason, but if you're listening to so much PD and you are not putting it to action, what are you really doing? Like, seriously, thinking buy time would just come was something that always got me in this business. I thought, okay, if I post to Facebook and I, do my workouts and all that stuff and I do my PD, people are just going to come to me. People are just going to start rolling in. And let me tell you, that does happen. People do reach out to you when you are living in your authentic journey. However, you have to talk to people. And that's the biggest part of this business as far as, on the side of all these vital behaviors. You are not going to connect with people and you're not going to sign coaches unless you are having conversations. So get it out of your head that you have this reason to be scared. Trust me, I was petrified when I first started this business. And Joan will actually tell you, apparently I'm more comfortable, not anymore, but when I first started this business, apparently I was more comfortable talking to dudes because every single person I reached out to was a dude. And she was like, Kat, what are you doing? You're talking to all these guys. And it was just funny because I was like, oh, you're right. But what ends up happening is the more that you do something, the more you'll get better at it and the more comfortable you'll get with it. Inaction breeds fear. So if you simply aren't reaching out to people, you are going to be fearful to reach out to people, plain and simple. That's just the way it is. So let's see here. I'm seeing results. I'm signing coaches. I'm having conversations, and it's not because of anything else, but I'm putting in the work. And you know what? I'm having fun, because what ends up happening is you get in this mindset. I've heard so many people, and again, I'm a victim of this. you sit back and you say, when I have a good mindset, I will be able to work my business. Or, when I'm fit, I will join that challenge group. We get this from people all the time. But the truth is that you're never going to be ready to do something. You're not always going to have the perfect situation to do it. But the thing that's different between before and now is that even when I don't want to work my business and have conversations, I'm still doing it. Because in the end, I'm going to connect with somebody, and at that moment when you need it, because when you're putting yourself out there into the universe, you are going to get back what you need. And that's just hippy dippy of me to say, but it's the damn truth. So let's see here. For newer coaches, some training stuff that's really great for you. The pinned post in the Team Project Fearless page. Go there. If you have an upline coach and you haven't connected with them yet, go there, check out every single one of those videos. Joan posts live videos every single day, and all the other leaders typically do too. So take a peek at our team page. We have an endless amount of training. There's a self-paced Find, Share, Invite group on Facebook that's floating out there in the world for coaches to be added to. Get added to it. And for leaders, I know that I forgot about this group, but it's there, and it has this amazing training information for how to post to Facebook and how to use Instagram and all of this stuff. Get in there, get added to it so that you can see what it's like. And it's a self-paced group, so you just follow the posts, when you want to. The faster you do it, the better you'll get at it, and the quicker you'll be moving this business forward. I've heard so many coaches talk about this business, and I'm trying to think, it was one of the top male coaches. I want to say it was Keith Callahan, and he said, we are the most overtrained and underworked group of people, Beachbody coaches, because we spend so much time working on this mindset and not much time working on our businesses. So if we put in as much time in personal development as we do working our businesses, you have no idea how far this business will go. So stop using your PD and not using it to take action. You have to take action. It's the only thing that will move this business forward. So let's change that mentality of overtrain, underwork. So Facebook and Instagram have been a huge part of my business moving forward. I know that Instagram is like the new craze right now. And if you're like simply an Instagram person and you're a new coach and that's where you majority, use for social media, rock on, do it up. However, I'm from the old school and I still work Facebook. And just because I'm growing my Instagram audience, and I'm working on that platform as well, does not mean that I'm going to shy away from my near and dear OG Facebook, because it's just quite simply where I'm getting majority of my business. So I'm still posting to Facebook 3-ish times a day in the morning, and I typically post once or twice at night. And the reason why you have to is because you have to get that interaction. You still need to work your Facebook and post. I typically post longer posts because Facebook audiences typically like to read a little bit more. On Instagram, I will tell you, I know Joan has said this a million times, Insta stories are where it's at. Take videos, take, boomerangs of your food, show pictures of what you're drinking, Shakeology, Energize, Recover. Those things, when you put them out there and kind of use Chalene Johnson's, what did she call it? I can't remember what she called it, but someone will type it in the chat. When you don't put all the info, my brain is dying. When you don't give all the info in your post, and I want to say mystery posting. It's not what you call it. Thank you. Curiosity marketing. Woo! Thanks, Meg. So yeah, curiosity marketing. Put things out there that are going to make people either private message you and be like, hey, what was that you were drinking? Those types of things on your IG stories, because people on Instagram want to see what you're doing. Who knew? People just want to know what the hell you're doing. So share stuff. I'm at work, once in a while when I can get my phone out and I'm not breaking HIPAA privacy law acts, I'll bust out my phone and I'll take a picture of the crown that we're milling. You can do random stuff because, again, people care about you. I'm a dental assistant. That's what I do majority of my day. And I hadn't been able to share that very much on Facebook because popping on Facebook and writing a huge post about what I'm doing in my dental office just wasn't feasible. Taking a quick pic of the, crown that's milling, because we do same day crowns in my office, is super easy to add to Insta stories. So anyway, tangents. There's a bunch of features for stories. There's, things like hands-free video. So basically what I've been doing is I've been doing my workouts, and then at the end of my workouts, I have been using the hands-free video on Instagram. And you simply do it by going into Instagram and going to your stories, which is this little camera up in the corner of your Instagram feed. And when you swipe all of the features over to the very right-hand side, if you hold your finger down on the hands-free, it will count down 3 seconds, because I kept looking at all these stories and I'm like, okay, I'm hitting hands-free, but then you watch me run all the way to where I'm supposed to do my workout. And I'm like, okay, half this video is me running to the place where I'm supposed to do this move. But if you hold your finger down on that button for 3 seconds, it will count down 3, 2, 1, and it gives you a chance to scurry over there and actually get your workout move or squats or whatever you're doing caught in that video. Very helpful. There's stickers, just be careful of where you're placing things so that, it's not distracting. You don't want to overdo it. I tend to, Carl thinks I'm funny because I'll walk around my house and literally post different Insta stories from different places in this house. And he's like, what the hell is this girl doing? Anyway, so again, don't shy away from Facebook if that's what you're using. However, definitely start growing this audience on Instagram, because it's going to be a younger generation. I know Joan said it too, but if you're asking kids that are, just going into college right now who will be Beachbody coaches someday, they're not on Facebook. Their parents are on Facebook. Their aunts and uncles are on Facebook. They're on Instagram. So we want to start moving over there and building that audience. Yes. So let's talk about conversations. Again, conversations are going to be your golden piece of this business. You have to have them. We used to say that you need to talk to maybe 5 to 10 people a day if you want more out of this business, the numbers have got to go higher, guys. They just have to. If you're a hobby coach, and you just want to make money to pay for your Shakeology, cool. You might want to reach out to probably 10 to 15 people a day, just chit chat with them about Beachbody. But if you're looking to make a 6-figure income, kill it, leave your job, do all these things that, you may be sitting there hearing me say these things and be like, yeah, right. Not possible. You got to talk to some people on this team that are doing it. Meg is about to leave her job on Thursday is her last day, and she's been a coach in this business for just a few years. So it is possible, guys. Anyway, you got to have them. Got to have the conversations. 10 people minimum. That's it. That would be my golden rule for you. Again, I'm talking to probably between 50 and 100 people a day. Again, I have big goals for this group, so don't let that scare you. You don't have to talk to that many people if you don't want to. It will get easy to talk to people that way, though, once you start working it faster. Follow the conversation template. The conversation template is there for a reason. I will tell you, if you are using the conversation template and you are on a phone using it or a laptop using it, do not copy and paste the conversation template, because you will end up in Facebook jail. Facebook is smart enough to realize that when you are copying and pasting, you are probably someone that is trying to reach massive amounts of people and using a social media platform to reach massive amounts of people. And they will send you you're not allowed to reach out to any more people for the next 24 hours. And it's going to be on a Wednesday night when you're trying to hit a goal and you're going to be pissed. So let me tell you, text replacement is the most genius thing in this world. And it makes things so easy. So go onto your phone, do me a favor. And if you I'm not sure what you do with Android, but if you go into your settings on your iPhone, you can literally assign like a short version. So for example, when I'm telling someone what a challenge group is, if I simply type CG into my text in my Facebook Messenger, and actually it has transferred over to my laptop as well, but if I'm on my phone, I can simply type CG when someone asks me what a challenge group is about, and it freaking prints out this huge thing about what a challenge group is. So I don't have to retype it every single time, but I'm also not going to be put in Facebook jail because I'm not sure how I got it on my computer, Shannon. I honest to God think that because I had my phone before my computer, it's a Mac, it's just like, I just realized it tonight, really, that it works when I started typing it in there. But yeah, so text replacement is the best thing on earth. So use it. I want to talk a little bit about donuts and basically give you some examples of what I have as text replacements in my phone. So donut. A donut is going to be a blind invite, is going to be someone that maybe you've never talked to before. The people that are scary to reach out to, the people that you're trying to look at their page and be like, huh, do they have a dog? Do they have a cute kid? Like, what can I start a conversation with this person? No, you don't even have to. Just send them a donut. If you pull them up in your messenger and you've never talked to them before. My example is this, and I highly suggest creating your own so that not all of us are reaching out to a bunch of people saying the same thing. But typically what I say is, hey girlie, this may or may not interest you, but I have another health and fitness accountability group going on. I wanted to make sure I extended the invite. Would you be interested in learning more? And the way that gets typed out in my phone is I type out donut and the number 1. And the reason why I put the number 1 there is because I don't want every time I type donut in this huge paragraph to show up when I'm talking to Katie about actual donuts from the Holy Donut or something, I don't want that to happen. So I put numbers next to it so that it doesn't happen. Just trying to make your life easier. What I also do is when I send a donut, I go in my handy dandy Teamsy and I set a reminder for 2 days later to that person. Doesn't matter if they answer me right there. It doesn't matter if they answer me later. I will tell you, if they answer me right there, I do not answer my messages until I am done reaching out or until I'm done having, that time where I'm reaching out, because it'll take away from reaching out if you start going into a conversation and then you get into the flow with one person, you forget to reach out to other people. So don't reach out to people until you're done reaching out and then follow up with your messages. I do a donut follow-up. And this is kind of funny. In my phone, it says donut FU. And what it says is, hey there, hope this message finds you well. I wanted to follow up with my last message. I'd love to have you in the group. Any health and fitness goals that you're currently working on. And I just simply send that. And I send it 2 days later if I don't get a response from them. After that, I set that for 2 days out again. If I don't get another response, I will go to their Facebook page and I will start liking things and I'll start interacting with them, because clearly at that point, if they're seeing your messages on Facebook and they're not answering you, 1, they think you're just trying to sell them something, and 2, they don't know you and they don't care. So start interacting with them. And then I start setting those follow-up dates for like a week out so that, and I do actually change my follow-up date after I like and comment on posts. And I do that because, again, I want to just have more interaction with them. I want to not forget about them, but I also, want to set it further out so that I'm not running into a point where I'm bugging someone that has no idea who I am. Let's see. Katie gave me this info that I have. So I entered it in my phone text replacement info 1. And it's somebody that has maybe seen my message. I've talked to them before about challenge groups. I may have invited them. It wasn't necessarily a donut, but they just never really followed up with me after they said, yeah, I'm interested. I sent them the explanation of the challenge group and what it was, but they just never followed up with me after that. And what I say and what she says is there any more info that you'd like from me in regard to the group to help you decide whether it's something you'd be interested in? Brilliant. So again, let me go over that again. I say that after I send like an invite out, they answer me and say yes. I go through what a challenge group is, and I always end the end of my challenge group paragraph, what are your health and fitness goals? If they've seen that question and they have not answered me, it's either because it doesn't interest them, or they've seen the question and they just didn't have time to answer it and they forgot about the message because they opened it, and they don't work on Facebook and they're not tracking their conversations like we do. So that info question is an awesome thing to send them, because half the time they message you back and they're like, oh my God, I forgot to respond to you. Yeah, totally. I have some questions for you. Again, I have the CG explanation. So this gets sent to people after I invite them. They tell me they're interested in the group and I respond. So the group is all about accountability, motivation, and support. Sometimes we run the group on Facebook. Sometimes it takes place on an app. Depending on how I'm running my group that month is how I'll explain it. But I essentially go into, we have meal plans, fun fit tips. We do challenges. We share sweaty selfies. It's honestly a ton of fun and a great way to stay accountable with your goals. What are your health and fitness goals? Key to your conversations is to always end what you're saying with another question. And because if you say, it's a great way to still stay accountable with your goals, and then you forget to track it, and then you don't ask them a question, what the hell are they going to say to you? Oh, cool. You know, you have to always ask a question because it will be important for the follow-up. So a template. The definition of a template is a preset format for a document or a file, you know, used to format. It does not have to be recreated each time that it's used. So it doesn't have to be recreated each time it's used. So I'm defining that because it's a template. You do not have to follow the template and get freaked out if it goes off course. It's a template for a reason. It's meant for you to be able to use and have wording that is known to psychology-wise work in a way to where people will answer your questions and know how to word things so that it is best explained and, you know, clear. But you are going to have real conversations with people where it doesn't necessarily follow the template. The flow of the conversation will be the same, but there will be a lot of fluff in between, especially if it's someone that you know. How's the kids? How's your Christmas? All this stuff will come up in between. It's just a way for you to stay on track with those conversations. For newer coaches, I will tell you the best way to handle conversations. Don't get freaked out. The conversation template is in the team page. However, ghost conversations. Brilliant. I literally used to let Joan sign into my Facebook, and you may not be comfortable letting your coach do this, but I literally said and followed her lead. She told Chris Reed that she would do absolutely anything to be successful in this business and do whatever he told her to do. So I did the same with her. And she told me, you suck at conversations, which I did, and you talk too much, which I did, and I still do clearly, and I need to sign in and we need to have these conversations live on your Facebook so you can see what I'm saying, how I'm saying it. This was pre-conversation template, y'all. So, you know, you guys are lucky. You don't have to necessarily do this, but it's really helpful to have your coach sign into your account and ghost your conversations. So have them do that because it's really helpful to see how they're saying things, what they're saying, and really get comfortable with it. Another way is to also take screenshots of your conversation and send it to your coach step by step so that, you know, if you need help with something, they can give you the answer and tell you how they're answering things. Let me go back to the donuts because I want to explain the benefit of them at first. So, you know, donuts are a blind invite. And I will tell you that when I first started this, I kind of forgot how to reach out to somebody because when I first started coaching, we basically were like, you have to, you know, you want to build a relationship with somebody. Absolutely. However, not every conversation is going to get to the point where they're asking you about what you're doing. And we always had our conversations in a way to where we always wanted to throw out there, you know, I'm a Beachbody coach. What do you do for work? You know, and different things that they would ask you about Beachbody and it would, you know, organically go to that conversation, especially if they hadn't been following you on Facebook long and know that you're a coach and know that you help with health and fitness goals. So a donut is a great way to get that blind invite out and to, you know, just get it out of the way. Stop being scared about it. Send it. It's gone. It's in the universe's hands. If they want to, great. If they don't, whatever. Move on. Track it and then follow up with them later. But one thing that I started doing with my donuts, and it's because I started to get to this point where I was like, okay, I'm reaching out to so many people. And now that I'm tracking them, I feel like majority of people aren't answering back. And it may be because let me explain that. They aren't answering back once I explain what a challenge group is and what the hell, you know, like I'm asking if they want to be in it. They say, yes, I'm interested in learning more. I tell them what a challenge group is and then they're not answering. So what I started doing, and I can't remember whose national wake up call it was, but they went back to that Shaun T point about connection and feeling. And, you know, it comes up in all aspects of this business. And what I've started to do, and I told, I think, Dominique and Katie about this because we kind of keep each other on track outside of here. But what I started to say after I connected with people is rather than going right into explaining what the challenge group is about, I'm straight up asking them, tell me a little bit about your fitness journey. And it was awesome because what started to happen is, you know, I send this donut, they say, yes, I'm interested in the group. And instead of going right in and being like, well, the group is blah, 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 you know, what are your goals and this and that? I'm actually caring about this human. I want to know what your fitness is about. You know, and I'm calling it a journey already for them because who knows, maybe they're already a fitness model, but maybe, you know, they've been struggling with their weight their entire life. And you've now asked about what is going on in their life about their fitness, and they are going to open up to you like a book. It's just, and it's awesome. And I've seen it work so many times. So it's a great new thing that I've kind of put into implementation in my conversations when it comes to donuts, because I do feel like people think that donuts are so cold. So it's a great thing that I've added in there. Let's see here. Trying to think. Going back to it's a numbers game, you want to go for no. You're going to get people that say no. For example, I screenshotted this conversation this morning, and I may have gotten a little defensive, but I kind of stepped back because you are going to get people that drag you down. You're going to simply get people that are like, you're a jerk. They're going to call you out, and they're going to try to make you feel like crap for doing what you're doing. Sometimes, not all the time. So don't be afraid of that, because I will tell you, this girl is someone that I reached out to as a donut. She never answered. I sent the donut follow-up. She never answered. I saw a picture of her dog, which is a corgi, which, funny, is kind of my dream dog. I think they're cute as hell. So I reached out to her again, and I said something along the lines of, hey, is this your dog in your cover photo? So freaking cute. And she answered back, and this was an awful situation, but she said, yeah, he died, so he was. And I was like, oh, shit. So the next thing she says to me is, also, not trying to get into fitness, sorry, girl. So she automatically thought, because of that donut, that I was just trying to sell her something. I responded back, no worries about the fitness. I honestly want to connect with people that want to connect with me on that regard. So don't worry about it. And, then I asked her questions about, her travels. She was in Thailand, all of that good stuff. So this was probably about a month ago. I reached out to her again on Sunday, and I just simply said, hope you're having a happy Thanksgiving. Loving that photo of you with the monkey. So she must have had pictures taken with a monkey in Thailand. Awesome. She said, thanks. Still not interested in this fitness thing, and I never will be. And then she goes in and and I won't give the detail to the rest of it, but she kind of attacked my character in saying that I wasn't being, what did she say? She said I was being insincere by the way that I was reaching out to her. So immediately I was like, oh, this person has definitely, rather than getting defensive, because at first, my first reaction was, who does she think she is? She doesn't even know me, and I got upset about it at first. Then I took a step back, and I actually apologized to her, and I said, I'm sorry that you feel like I'm being insincere. I absolutely love to connect with new women. However, it sounds like you may have had a bad experience with other people reaching out to you trying to sell you things, and I'm very sorry for that. She mentioned something about blocking me. I said, don't worry about blocking me. I can't even remember exactly what I said, but I basically said, I'm sorry you feel that way. You clearly don't know me. I'm not just trying to sell you something. And I backed off. I've unfollowed her on Facebook. You need to be able to remove people like that out of your brain. You're going to get people like that in this business. And what's going to happen is you're going to go one of two ways with it. You're either going to let that person determine and create fear and have that fear build to where you're scared to reach out to other people because of that person, or you can now reach out to a bunch of other people, cross that woman right off your successful people's list today, and move the F on. Move on and reach out to so many other people, because what we have in this business and what we are offering is amazing. It is so amazing what you're offering people. You're offering people a solution. You're offering people a financial solution, a health solution, all these things. So yeah, take these steps, repeat them over and over on a daily basis, even on days that you really don't want to. And I promise you that you'll be in Success Club every single month. Your income will grow every single week. You will help more people than you even understand. And you will have some serious momentum in this business. Don't look back and have the feelings of the coulda, shoulda, woulda. Don't let that fearful voice inside convince you that you don't know enough people. People don't want to hear from you. You're not good enough. Don't let that voice run your life. Dig into personal development and then take action. Do these steps every single day. Post on social media. Listen to your personal development, do your workout, drink your shake, and have conversations and track them. The point of this conversation is to track them, because if you're putting all this work in and you're not tracking it, you are going to end up with your friends and your family and all this crazy stuff, you know, connecting with other people because you never followed up with them. It's not, that's your job. Follow up with people. Anyway, love you guys. I've kept you on here for long enough. Does anybody have any questions, or do you want specifics into something? I'm recording it, so if you want to go back and listen to any part, that would be great. All right, you're welcome. I love you guys. Is there any more info you'd like from me? Yes, exactly. I'm gonna go back through and just make sure. Tips. Says you wouldn't normally use in a conversation. I was literally talking some donuts. Yep, donut popped into it. Yes, exactly. I don't know how I got it onto my computer again, guys. I think I just connected my laptop with my phone because they're both Macs. Curiosity marketing, thank you for those who put that up there. Clearly everybody remembered it except for me. Okay, cool. Nope, no questions. Love you guys.